Hello there and welcome back. So the banners for this month have been laid out for us. And we have the first one here, Festive Fio. In this video, let's do a banner review of that and some comparisons to see if you should pull here or not. All right, so this has been laid out for us. We get Fio this week, Gale next week, Noelle after that, and Lavania after that. And man, they are looking so cool, especially Lavania. And we know Fio is a DPS character and have good authority to conclude that Gale is as well, and Noelle most likely, but we don't know yet. We did just get a PvP Noelle, so we can safely assume she's not going to be PvP oriented. So my guess is a dark DPS, but she could be a hybrid or support, we don't know. But that leaves Lavania as the most likely one to be a PvP unit. Usually there is at least one. So how do these banners work? Well, the first four are all separate, and they don't overlap, but they do share a pity. And we'll look more at in a moment at what the paid step-ups look like. Talk more about that. But as you can see here, we're going to get all four of them on a shared banner. It might be a better idea to wait for that, because one of the selling points on the individual banners is higher rates, but guess what? They're not that high. They're only 0.5%, and the whole pool is in there. All of the 4-star pool. And even on the paid banners, the rates aren't better, but there are those bonuses for the paid step-ups. So let's dig in and we'll talk more about that. Onward with the banner review. So we're seeing a new top tier attack level, 11,000 instead of values in the 10,000 range. And we can expect that kind of power creep. It is anniversary after a while. All right, not disappointed there. That's cool. I assume we're going to be seeing higher difficulty quests, and that we're going to be wanting that higher value more and more. Defense is pretty high. HP is, you know, at this point in the game, that seems to be the lowest we're seeing these days. But, you know, again, more balance here. Now, there are other good fire DPS out there, and we did just get Abyssal Udeal. And again, we'll be doing a deeper comparison in a moment. But Fio does have the 5-hit with a very busted multiplier. And then buffs herself for crit damage. So in a subjugation knockdown where you start with the character skill, now your weapon skills that follow it will have that crit damage buff. So that will be very powerful. This passive is one of the reasons, 30% is new, and that's one of the reasons we're seeing this value so high here. And then this is, you know, one of these whatever drive. They're pretty good, but they just kind of, they affect your bottom line a little bit. Now the passive is good. The Third Awakening passive. Critical hit damage 30%. So I could see her crit values just being insane with someone who has good awakenings and good memoirs and everything. And you know, I don't think she's worth chasing awakenings, especially when we have 3 characters coming up. So the Mega Whales will go ahead and grab our A5. But for those of us that, I mean, I'm a spender and I still try to plan and pull sparingly. And then free to play. You really got to strategize if you're free to play. But this debris is top notch. I don't even have a fire debris in my account. 30% is a very good value, and 45 seconds is a good amount of time. So very nice debris there. Wish I could have it. The weapon I'm loving. The attack stat is very high, very, very high. And then the skill kit is looking nice too. 5-hit, it's only 70, but you know, it is a 5-hit, and on those hits, crit damage increased by 40, which is insanely huge. I'm pretty sure that'll make up for the 30% lacking there. And then only a 4-hit with a better multiplier, 110. And if it's, you know, a fist user, you get the buff. So very, you know, very similar to an EX weapon here. And then, of course, the boon and then the ambush helps out a lot. It helps you dial in a higher crit damage value with your memoirs. And when you're stacking all of that, and then consider that, you know, on a subjugation run where you're combining her with Summer Gale and or Abstract Sarafa, all of the crit damage stacking that's going to be going on, it's going to be very busted. So obviously we have a new top tier fire attacker. Now, should you pull? It kind of depends on what you have and what your resources look like and what you're planning for the rest of the month. So let's do a little comparison side by side with different awakening values. Okay, so shout out to Kazaya and the Rian Guide folks for this awesome MamaBot tool where I can quickly check stats at any awakening value. So what I wanted to know is this. Let's say, you know, like Sino Akeha and Celeb Lavanya have been out for a while. Let's say you do have them awakened to A4. And Fio, you're only able to grab as like an A0. For example, I didn't talk about this paid banner. So again, the rates aren't better, but like here you get a chance on slot 10, either her or a celeb character, and then here you're guaranteed. So for 9,000 paid, you can grab that A0 if you're just a collector, you know. And you know, anniversary is the best time to spend anyway. We have those awesome packs. Okay, sorry, just real quick, wanted to get that in there. But let's go back here. Do some quick comparisons. So let's say that's the case. Maybe you have Akeha A4, Celeb Lavanya A4, and you're only able to grab Fio as A0 because you wanted to grab her for collection, or you did that one step up, or you did some YOLO, some ticket YOLOs, and just got her A0. What does she look like A0? You can see her attack stat is just over 8,000. And again, she does have the extra hit. So she's going to be very comparable to an ascended Akeha. Look, Akeha's 8-9, so more attack value, but one less hit on the character skill. That one hit can mean a lot. But the four hitters are doing great work in subjugation. Like, for example, Celeb Yuzuki is still my best dark DPS, and he's carrying my dark score with only 4 hits. So it works just fine still. Lavanya, 8.5, so they're all in the 8,000s. And Fio at A0 and these two at A4, they all similarly don't have any damage modifiers. Of course, Fio needs the A3 for hers. So they're all going to be very similar, with Fio having the only advantage of having a 5th hit. Something to consider in this, though, they've talked about the karma system and hinted at new abilities, and that the new costumes will be the only eligible ones at first, possibly the survey costumes as well. So, this is based on current knowledge. I don't know if Fio is going to get a new ability, in which case that will kind of change this comparison. We just don't know yet. I guess we'll know on the 17th regarding that. So again, these are stats for Awakened, Akeha and Lavanya, Unawakened Fio. Now, maybe you just pulled Abyssal Udeal, only got him A0. His values look like this, 8,000, and of course at A0 he doesn't have his Pursuit passive. So again, like neck and neck. So A0 Fio and A0 Udeal are going to be basically the same. Assuming that there's no karma passive that gives her something, some kind of advantage. Okay, so what does she look like at A4? And all of these values I put in not exalted. In game, they always show you exalted. So let's just say level 90. A4 Fio is north of 10,000. And of course, has that crit damage buff, 30%. Whereas Udeal let me just fix this here. Udeal is right with her. 10,000, just over 10,000. But that pursuit is, in my opinion, going to be a lot more effective because the crit damage 30% is just kind of baked into your stats, whereas the pursuit buff is more powerful. It gets added at the end of the damage chain, so that's a multiplier on your damage. All right, so A4, assuming Fio doesn't get anything new, which she might with Karma, we don't know, but as is, Awakened Abyssal Udeal is a little better. Chances are you don't have them, though, because you were wise to save for Anniversary. So hopefully that helps you decide if you need Fio or not. And again, maybe you just want her for collection purposes. All right, I wish you the best of luck. Again, it might be a better strat to just wait until they're all in the same banner. The rates here aren't that boosted. They're, 0.5%. And we have those other 3 characters coming up. And my bet is that Lavanya is the one we really want to dump into. I have no idea, though. So I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching and thanks for your support. I will see you in the next one.